Hey y'all, this is Paula. Welcome back to the conversation at the Painted City.
Hi, listeners. This is Patricia. We are so excited with our guest, Frankie Messina, the man, the myth, the legend, Orlando Arcs. Man, you are the epitome of that.
Oh, Lordy of mercy. Hi, how's everybody doing?
And just so that, we can touch base, we were talking before the show, talking about all the old faces. And apparently, I've not formally met Frankie, but we've been in similar circles in the downtown district in the past years.
I'm proud of it. I'll say it.
Feel free.
At least 35, 33, 35 years. Early 90s,
Nice.
for sure. I was a time in Orlando when I meet a lot of folks like you, where it's funny, you mentioned things that I do remember. It used to be, you go like, I'll see you Tuesday, and you didn't say where you were going to be. That's how small we all support each other. And it wasn't just music, it was music, art, literature, poetry, whatever, dancing, whatever, something crazy going on the street, somebody just outside just turning flips in the yard, or, all the vagabond things that happen around Orlando, but we all support each other. Artists painting on the street. It's been around for a long time, and it's cool to be on the show now that you're gonna expose some of that history, because it's really something that's to be proud of in Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a native Orlandoan, born and
Yep.
bred.
Oh,
Don't meet tons of them.
no, I don't.
No. So for me, like growing up here, we talked about all these things, and that's around the time that right before I graduated from high school and after high school, I used to hang out at all those places. And, I remember dragging my parents to some of those old coffee shops.
Sorry.
Yeah. And my dad going, okay, my little beatnik.
And that's what was so good about going there and going younger, kind of. Instead, it was off the beaten path. Downtown wasn't that busy the way it's clubbed the dirt is now, and uh, wasn't as organized with the United Arcs and all that. And it was actually people, I call it vagabond, but it's very, very, very hippie-ish and very ragtag. And you found special spots are really great. That's where everyone out there will know now, Austin's and Stardust. That's the bohemian young culture that's still there. And Orlando's created a lot of cool scenes because of Disney. When they were off at Disney from around the world, people working there and Universal, they wanted real things happening. And those creative people came downtown and mixed in with all of us as you and around downtown looking for things to do. And it just kind of formed together really cool. So there's still a really great history of Orlando that's not so um, theme park.
Yeah.
There's a real downtown.
Yeah.
And that-
It's not so talked about.
It's more and more. It is because of the food scene, because of the foodies and all around, all the influencers, all people walking around. People from there visiting or getting to know these spots downtown, or around that we know here, from out at Disney World and Universal. And I'm talking too much. Hello.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
But
I just jump right into it because I can feel you're inspired about the history of Orlando, and it's just like put it in my vein. That's just what I'm about. I've always been since day one. Started looking and searching for Orlando's little spots, and some of those, and that's so cool to meet someone like that.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, Orlando's been in my blood. I actually remember um, Pleasure Island when it just opened. And I also remember that one of the first times it opened, there used to be a skating rink around the bar in the middle. And I went with one of my good friends, and we would roller skate around, and people would try to hit on me to buy me a drink.
Well,
And he would get the drink, and I'd just keep circling. They didn't have that roller rink, I don't think, for very long.
I wonder why.
Church Street Station was kicking when I was here, and I was working with Little Orleans, and I remember when Downtown Disney opened, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're pulling the business from downtown." Well, they did, and there was some of the reasons why they closed up Church Street Station, but even that was a scene downtown that was vibrant and cool. Russian violin players on the street. Remember the horse buggy carriages going around La Quiola? I mean, and I'm wanting to not talk about the past so much. I've been training myself. There's so many new things happening. I'm calling it a new Orlando. And the thing and not saying but that will get this conversation probably really going is I'm not jaded about the past things that aren't here. or the change that's happening in Orlando. People, all the rents are going up, and like the yard over here, and all the parts of town they're changing. Well, it's a new. I'm calling it a new Orlando. I'm embracing it. I'm excited. We've worked so many years to act like a big city.
Yeah.
Now we're a big city. A big city means what's happening. People from around the world are moving here. We're going like, what do they do to get that live there? Like, what job are they doing? But I don't even question now. I'm like, I'm glad they're here. Come like the Hideaway. Come on into the Hideaway. Hey, fill it up. It's not the Hideaway it used to be. Or it's the new Hideaway. It's new Orlando, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I mean, I think it's great that we talk about it because a lot of people don't realize how much we did have going. But, we rolled off the foundations of some of the things that we've done before. And you might see it coming back and building and bringing it back, but bringing it back in a way where not palatable, but it's just enjoyable for everyone now.
It's Community's King, and Patricia's a hero of that. The connection she's had for me. So as just an artist in town, I'm not leading the charge here, but I just want to give you a compliment, Patricia, about how you stayed in town. You created your dream that you wanted with art, and you spread that love to others, and your education that you've gotten as a curator, as a painter, but also the teacher. Every other day I meet someone that mentions your name. They're like, I started art again because of her. So I mean, you're an amazing local. That I'm sure you are too. But Patricia, it's amazing that you're doing a show now like this, like you just said, to capture the city that that you weren't others. You're really just introducing your friends to a larger crowd, the people you've known, people that have inspired you, or new people that you don't know. And I'm honored to be on that list. If I'm on the list at all, I'm sitting in your chair, and I'm happy that you. Are you crying?
No.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. If I
No tears, maybe tears of joy. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I have to say, you are a powerhouse in this town, in the city of Orlando. And
We are.
I mean, you were sitting here at the table because you deserve this. You're usually on the other end of the mic.
It's hard to be quiet. I'm gonna listen. My mom said you had 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so I'm gonna listen to Mama right now. No wait. Go ahead.
Everything that you've said, I agree 100%. That's so beautiful what Paula has said, and I love anything nostalgic of any city.
Right.
I love history, and I love
And there's a big one here. You're exactly right.
absolutely, and I also love progress. That's sure. Orlando is a progressive city, as you said, but we were just sitting here talking about all of these great places and all of these venues, and some of them are still here, and some of them aren't. Right. And I was just trying to rehash, and I talked to Paula earlier yesterday and said, I'm trying to remember where I first met Frankie. How did I meet Frankie Messina? And you reminded me, because I said it was either Stardust or Infusion Tea, right? And that was back in the day. If you listeners out there know Infusion Tea as it is now, it was not that beautiful revamped store that they have now, or the tea house. What was it like? It was maybe half that size, right, Frankie? Dry mill.
Yeah, very small.
Tell us what you did.
Well, we went started the first poetry night at Austin's Coffee, and it was called Naked Words. And actually, Morgan Steele did the flyer for us, and Joe Caspal was doing that. And we were getting a lot of writers from the Kerouac House, and some I'm not saying older, but just real writers coming in, not slam poets. There was too much of a mixture, and so we said we need to start something that will represent them, but then it couldn't be at Austin because it was such a diverse college crowd, and they weren't listening to some 50-year-old educated wonderful woman read 2 pages from her book she just wrote, and so we had to change the venue. So I started a new thing called Soft Exposure. It was going to be a jazz night with that name, but then Soft Exposure happened, and we allowed the Kerouac House to come in, and writers and people coming in, and it was gangbusters, and it was just great. Like as he said, we had art in the back, and we would love it when people came in that like poetry and words and art, and we were like, wow. But the conversations after that show, the conversations were even better because you're all hyped up on tea. That's the great thing. Yay! Shout out to Infusion V. You need to be a sponsor. But down at Funcast.
Ooh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we do need sponsors at some point to be. I think it was Brad Biggs. Yay, Brad!
Always, Brett. Always.
I think it was Brad Biggs. They brought me into that. I think he made the connection. This was earlier on. I mean, you stuck a microphone in my face and said, "Okay, talk." I thought my artwork was going to be displayed on the wall along with my painting. Real did I know.
But it was. You.
Oh, I know, honey. You have to come up here and read your poem. And now look, fast forward, we have a podcast and we're together. So
I love it. Yeah, that was some unique time there. That's great.
Well, and for me, I love poetry. My mother was a poet, is a poet. I actually, my nickname was actually given to me by Rod McEwen. So I actually have a picture of me at 2 years old in Rod McEwen arms. My mother's like top person. And he's like, her skin looks like a little shell. And she's called me Shell ever since.
oh,
That's a great story. So it's kind of cool that, my mom was feeling.
McEwen.
Well, I was too, so I didn't care.
He was just an old guy in Tobin.
Yeah. And, but, when I see the picture, I was like, oh my gosh,
That's really something.
yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you Shell.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Shell.
But so preparing to interview and have you in for our conversation, I started listening to random bits of your podcast, especially some of the early ones.
It started really weirdly because I had gotten the job at WPRK and then the pandemic hit. And we were I started in the record room at my house, just talking. And I went, of course, everyone thinks that the little tiny desk feel and that. It's like Oprah's now. You get a podcast, you get a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast now. And we were just having fun with a little recorder. And it was just such a cool feeling. I'm not bragging. People are laughing now. They go, here he goes. I've got 10,000 or more albums. And the room is just filled. And so just to have those albums there, people go like, you got that on. I almost say, yeah, you want to smell 1965 dust? I mean, it's the same dust probably. I haven't cleaned them too much. But the interviews inside that room, especially younger musicians that were coming there, and I had many in town that would come over some special things. Just the feeling in that room, because all those spirits around you, because that's the truth about the music. The music lives on, but their testament, their poetry, their lyrics are on those records, and people feel that spirit in that room. It's a very special time. So thanks for mentioning the early days there.
Well, the thing that made me fall in love, especially with your early one, was the fact that I heard you talking about the albums and books and how it was everyone's stories, listening to music, listening to poetry. It's like listening to the stories that just carries on and goes forward without we release it into the world.
I had that idea once I never thought I'd be on the radio with this voice. I never thought at all. I kind of started just because I've met some people in town, and just like you guys are doing, you want people to meet these folks to tell the stories, which is the history, which may inspire someone else to do their. We all had beginnings, I'm just a goofy old guy that loves poetry and art, and I just have in my veins that I love live music, and I love everything happening, and a jugger. Oh my, you're the best jugger I've ever seen in my life, and they may not be, but I want them to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy it. So it started, I went to the library, and I walked out of the library. I was thinking about where I'd just been, and I went, that's not just books and colors on the wall. That's not just things, material things. That's individual stories from someone who's probably not here in this world anymore. Millions of books of stories. And so we all got a story. We all need to put it on the shelf. It's time to put it on the shelf, and I guess that's what we're doing here. We're putting this in the shelf.
That is so prolific.
Not that it's my story; it's our story.
our story.
I keep talking to somebody my story.
No, I love it. And tell us about Apartment E. I mean, the name, the title.
Well, there's a huge story on the website about that, and it started actually. I'll make it short as I can. I was living in Apartment E, right here on Cathcart, right on the corner, and I was looking for things to do in town. Being from I lived in New Orleans, and I was just looking around, and I was drinking way too much, honestly, and I was just kind of lost. But I'm saying that was a bad thing. I'm not saying it's good to drink out there, children. Just saying it was part of my life, and it was just I didn't really think where I was at. And I was just kind of lost. Didn't know what I was doing. I was working way too much, and not seeing things I like. I was doing a portrait night somewhere else, and down in Thornton. And the artist in town, I told him, I said, I want people to come paint live. And he went, Frankie, are you painting? And I've never lost that lesson. Like, you got to do it, and the other people will follow. Some people have to get that push. You can tell until you blue in your face, you want this to happen. So I had a dream about that happening, whatever. Making it short. So apartment E, I sat there one day in the mirror, and I looked, I said, that's it. I'm not falling no further down. This is it. I'm going to start creating my life now. At the same time, I watched a movie called City of Joy. It was a Patrick Swayze movie, yes. And at the very end, it had a quote. It said, all those not given is lost. And it hit me at the same time. I was like, you know what? If I don't go do it, I think I can do it right now. It'll be gone. I'll die tomorrow maybe, and no one will ever know what I had to give to the world. And so I called my friends up. I say, hey, meet me at the Bull and Bush. This kid from Disney was a busboy, this Latin guy, and he did an impersonation of Elvis. I met this character girl at Big Daddy's. My best friend is a camouflage freshman over here. He's coming to visit. Michael Wanzi in town. He used to walk around. We know what he's done. Mr. Michael Wanzi from Big Bang and Everywhere. And he balanced a glass of water on his head or a beer on his head. And I said, come do that in front of the crowd. Just have fun. So anyway, we just all got together. There was a piano at Bull and Bush. Had a meeting. I said, everybody dress up. It's a 1940s thing. What are we celebrating? We're celebrating us. Whatever you're doing, just come do it. And it just grew from that little party. And each party just got bigger and bigger. Lee's Lakeside of downtown started doing it. But what are you calling this? I'm like, I don't know. Apartment E, Arts House or something. I don't know what it's called. And I said, let's call it Apartment E. And I called it Apartment E, Writing Studio, Music, and Arts House. And just grew. Moving forward really fast here. Did things around town that I want to do. The first Thursday art walk. First Thursday in downtown, the OMA. We helped kick that off, the Art After Dark, with Victor Perez and everyone. And some crazy stuff happened in that rotunda there, like BMX bike riders and going Samsung House, all the folks in town. And then Victor Perez, and then we brought it to, then third Thursday started happening. There used to be 42 places downtown of an art walk from Thornton Park with Jason Lee, who did help do that, all the way downtown to City Arts, to all our galleries, to where FAVO West is at. So there was Sigrid and Bohemian. That was on my list, our list to go. I had it all marked out. And we'd all close out at Lee's Lakeside. Basically, the apartment is a roving art party, close it up. And I kept the name. It's been 33 years. And it's just, it's like everyone has their own apartment. It's not about me. It's about, everyone said, why don't you make it APTE? Because it would lose the art and the me in it, in the word. And also people like thinking simple. Everyone has to have a start somewhere. I want to be an example. And everyone I meet, I don't care if there's been 50 poetry nights or art shows in town. I want to do a tattoo art show. An 18-year-old might tell me that today. I go like, great, let's do it. I don't go, oh, we've done that before. I never say that to someone because they haven't done it. It's their experience. You got to keep digging deeper for the younger, and that's what's kept it youthful. I hope it lasts forever.
Well,
I made 3 banners, so I hope it stays now. And I made real cards. But
I love how you've continued this legacy after over 30 years.
it's a show now, so
It's
yeah.
a show now.
And I hope it's more. I appreciate the compliment because the names in town matter, but I like the simplicity of the name. And when people find out, I saw people that I know up years ago, Frankie, you used to having parties in your apartment. They've never been to one of my shows 30 years. Or they go like, you making money on that yet? Well, maybe I'm not. It's not that's not the main goal. I've had the luxury of having a full-time job. I'm not the starving artist. And I'm not bragging about it. I work really hard to keep my full-time job, but I have my off time to continue doing this purely and not think about the money first. I said, money comes around, it's well-deserved. I take it, the artist might take it, but I don't lose these things for money right now still either. It's not, I've never incorporated it. I tried, didn't like it. I like more of the nonprofit where I can help people. The Blanket Orlando, collecting blankets for the homeless. It's a community thing that a lot of people are attached to in many different ways. And for me to define it, I think I just did a pretty good job. It's kind of getting hard. I'm getting better at it. It was very hard for me to define it because I never wanted to define it. You define it, it kind of kills it knocks people from nuts. out of the group. It's not a group. It's a ever expanding. It's your apartment. It can be apartment B, apartment C. It could be your studio. What's the number here? With the yard studio number?
Oh my God.
You know, it could be the Painted Podcast.
Yes. But, you know,
Which it is.
I kind of like that, you know, sometimes we overdefine things. Like we get too rigid, too structured. And I love the flow of it, you know, and, you know, for me, I really love all the stuff that you do for Central Florida. When I became
Not alone. Not alone. I mean, I'll throw the idea out there and I'll pitch it and I go, let's go, baby, let's fly. And it may fall with 3 people, but it was 3 quality people that believed in it. It'll have to be 300 all the time. But I've had big things, I've had small things, and, you know, I consider us all doing it together.
But that's all we can do is take the little things, and some things it sticks on the wall, and some days it comes back at us. When I started originally, you know, I was like, I'm going to join, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm going to join the Peace Corps. My mom told me, you know, if you're going to go, you know, other countries, why don't you start with your own country first or in your own backyard? Now, I didn't realize my mom actually wanted me to go clean the backyard, but you know,
She said it very poetically.
yeah. But you know, that's part of why I became like a social worker, and so that I could build up like my own community, so I could be involved, so I could, you know, yeah, things don't work, but I still think it's great when we talk about, you know, blankets for the homeless. Sometimes people don't realize that us in Central Florida, it might only be a week or two,
Right.
but it gets really cold, and people are not prepared for it.
Nope. And I have a story about that, but I won't take up the time. But people looked at it if they like. It was a really cool thing to happen like 14 years ago now with Frank Orlando, why we started on that. I don't want to take up the time here, but you're right. The simple things that you can do are all you can do sometimes. In the environment we have now in this world, you know, which I'll talk about because I like the inspiration of a show like this to move forward positively on what we can do. You can cut on any other my shows too. I tell people that we're not dumb to what's going on, but we're kind of numb to it.
Yeah.
But right now we're gonna inspire you to do what we can do in our community, and forget about that for a while and do what you can do because it's smart. You know, kind of like I say, you know, famous bands, and you know, there's no famous bands unless there's local bands. There never will be. They all came from somewhere.
Okay. It's the little things. The little things you can do make the difference. You know? And what is that story? The straw that broke the camel's back. It's that one straw. It's not everything else. And a lot of times we're hardwired that we can handle big things. We can handle the trauma. It's the little thing where you're like, oh, one more thing.
It's like our matron of arts in town, Donna Dallas, always said, you know, it's showing up, it's being there, being present. She always says that.
She's amazing.
She is.
And what I love about what you've done, you really have fostered the arts, and it's not just painting, it's music, it's spoken word, it's literary, and it's all encompassing. And to say that you're still doing that over 30 years is still mind-blowing. I mean, I didn't get into the scene until probably like the early 2000s, and it's just a big wow. It's a big it's testimony to what you've done. And I know you're shy and you don't like to get all the accolades, and
I guess you see the look on my face. It's not that. It's the fact that, like I was just saying, everyone has ideas, and everyone's just afraid to tell them to other people. And I'm not. I'm kind of bold that way. Like, you know, we had the Bad Art Show. It was called the Bad Art Show because I got tired of people saying, Mara's not good enough to be on my show. I'm not ready for a show yet. And I was like, I'm doing the show. I'm calling it the Bad Art Show, for God's sake. Like, I'm not saying your art is bad. I'm saying this show is bad. You know, and so and I had 600 something people out in Sanford. We did it. I've done it in alleyways. I've laid down carpet and done alleyways. I had regular night for that. We did it actually at the Acre. You know, the Acre now out on Edgewater.
Oh, yeah.
Before it was bad. He cleaned out his apartments. He thought I really wanted to have his apartment. We had, can I tell that real fast?
Sure.
First one for the Bad Art Show. I was sitting, okay, let me take a second. I'll hurry. I'll start my stories is too long.
No.
There was a bar. There was a bar out in Winter Garden called Third Base. You remember that name? Best name for a bar I've ever heard in my life. That's where you go home, you know. But this bar was this was like, I mean, dive. I mean, the whiskey, Lou's Lounge, and nothing compared. Wally's is nothing compared. And I had a friend out there who was bartending, and I learned a lesson. Don't tell the bartender, because you're an artist, just make me a color drink. Like make it red tonight, or make it blue tonight, or make it purple tonight.
Oh, funny.
Not good. Anyway, making it short, there was a lady there, and I had a caricature artist friend, and I said, "Can you draw her real quick?" And she drew her. You know how they usually drop a tennis racket? No. Well, she was there with her marbles and her rolled up, and her, and you know, just pretty redneck. But hers as a logo. I made a little map. Went to Kinko's downtown with Palmer. Went good old Palmer downtown. Made all the. I always tell you go to Kinko's downtown if you want to know what's going on in town. You look in the garbage can. That was our calendar of events. Anyway, I made flyers, about 150 of them, before socials out there, kids, and put them out. I'm out, maybe in MySpace, maybe not, just on people's windshield a little bit. The directions out to the baker. They showed up there. The carriage artist showed up with their brown paper bag, doing shit. We had the keg out there. Once again, drink responsibly. And I had created a little fill playing, because I don't like heavy metal, but a friend of mine said, give me your heaviest music you can find. The CD player started skipping on every 3 songs, so it was the same 3 songs. I had a strobe light and all thrift store artwork up in the top room, and it was like we had to bring a flashlight because the lighting's kind of bad, and one little white string light. So Terry had 300 people in that room. We had a bonfire out there. The artwork that didn't get sold enough, we just threw it at the bonfire. It was the most fun night. Everybody's like, only you would do this, Frankie. And so that Bad Art Show started. My point being was that just do it. Just do your idea. Just get it out there. And in this, there was a artist that was showing at one of my shows. I didn't know this. His art was great. And about 4 years later, only about 4 years ago, I'm not going to tear up on this, but I'm just going to say it because it was really made me really proud. He, to Frankie, you don't know what you did for me that night at the Bad Art Show. What he did says, I had my kid, I got into a divorce. I didn't have custody of my kids, and had not seen them forever. You know, I was going through some disease. But he says, it's the first time I ever showed him artwork. And here it is. And he said, I can say it without hardly tearing up. You made me feel like something when I felt like nothing. And I don't think you can get a better compliment than that, with just having fun with art and doing what you've got to be doing. And then that's the reason why. People are like, why art Manise? Why are you still doing that? That's the reason. Those kind of compliments you don't get in this world.
No, that's beautiful.
And he told me that, and I wrote back and I said, just like, thank you. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was so overwhelmed, you know. So that's what we do, right? You're supposed to inspire, right?
That's you.
That's us. We all do this. It's just catching those moments and making them happen. And I'm not deflecting your compliment. Thank you very much. But it's us. Like this right here is very special. What we're doing right now. I mean, I'll cherish this for a long, long time. And I appreciate y'all having me on here.
And you'll.
And I'm gonna quit talking.
And
Twice. I said twice. I said I'm gonna quit talking.
also, I should put on the list. This man knows how to throw a party, doesn't he? I mean, show up to this place, bring a flashlight. The lighting's not great. 300 people show up.
I'm the Martha Stewart.
You are.
A glue gun and masking tape. What can't you do?
Can we revive some of these things? Paula, what do you think?
I'm out.
I need a place for Bad Art Show then.
I'm a crafter on crack. People don't do it anymore. Sadly, it's no longer there. But
We'll do another Bad Art Show.
Yeah, I spent years doing Gish, which is the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen. Sadly, it's not a thing anymore. But you would have all these tasks in a week to do it. And it's like, make a costume out of fruit and all this weird stuff. So I can pull out just about anything.
Amazing.
I got glue guns, I got time, and I got dental floss. And
Can I go to the bathroom?
so, Frankie, I wanted to talk a little bit about local music.
Yeah, can I do that after I go to the bathroom? I gotta go really bad.
Oh, while Frankie's otherwise indisposed, this is a good time to end this episode.
And stay tuned for part 2, which will be airing on Wednesday, July 30th.
Until then, this is Paula.
And this is Patricia. See you in 2 weeks.